Hi, boys and girls. This week, our theme is all about the five food groups. And this Friday, if you join us for Kahoot, for live Zoom, our Kahoot is all about the five food groups. So, everything that you're going to look at and learn about this week, and the questions that will be on there, that is our theme. Um, I always enjoyed when I was in elementary, middle school, and even high school, because then you get more involved in about food groups. It was always something fun to learn about because eating food is fun and it's nice to know what we're eating and how it's good for us and what things are important to eat. Instead of Miss Hamid actually explaining all this, I have a really cute 5-minute video, I believe, that's going to summarize the five food groups and then we can learn about it together. So let me start it. Actually, it's 4.5 minutes, perfect. And after we're done watching the video, I'm going to show you what you're going to do this week, and it's very simple. So as long as you listen, it'll be easy, like I said, and I know you're going to enjoy it.
Sometimes you need to get away from the kids for grown-up time, or get away from the grown-ups for kid time, and just get away from home.
Our bodies need lots of energy to keep us going throughout the day. And do you know where we get that energy? That's right, from the food we eat. And all kinds of different people enjoy different kinds of food. But whether your favorite meal includes noodles or nectarines, tortillas or tofu, most types of food have some of what our bodies need to stay healthy. You might already know that we can put different kinds of food into different groups. We call these, you guessed it, food groups. But let's check out each group and see what kind of food belongs where. Let's start with the fruit group. You gotta love sweet, delicious fruit. This group includes things like apples and pears, oranges, and strawberries. Fresh fruit is the best for you, but fruit that's canned or frozen counts too. After all, many fruits are hard to find in the winter, and some fruits only grow in certain parts of the world. But don't forget about fruit that's been dried. Raisins are just dried grapes, and prunes are dried up plums. And even juice is part of the fruit group, but only if it's all fruit juice and doesn't have added sugar. Next comes the grain group. Grains are plants, like oats, wheat, and barley. If a food is made from one of these plants or any other grain plant, it belongs here. That means things made of flour, like bread and noodles, breakfast foods like oatmeal and cereal, and even rice are all part of this group. Next up, the vegetable group. I bet you already figured out what goes here. Vegetables come from plants too, but unlike grains, they're either the roots, stems, or leaves of certain plants that we can eat. Carrots, for example, are the sweet orange roots of the carrot plant. A head of lettuce is just a bunch of crunchy leaves, and asparagus is actually a stem of the tasty asparagus plant. There are so many kinds of veggies out there that we can actually split this group into smaller groups. For example, there are dark green veggies like spinach, and starchy vegetables like potatoes and sweet potatoes. Then there are red and orange veggies like beets and carrots, just to name a few. Now, what other foods can you think of? What about the stuff that's inside your sandwich? Meats like chicken or hamburger belong to the protein group, and so do fish like tuna, and eggs made any way you like. But not all members of this group come from animals. Other foods like beans, peanut butter, and tofu, which is made from soybeans, are full of protein. So they're also proud members of the protein group. And that leaves us with the last food group, dairy. If a food is made from cow milk or soy milk, it's in the dairy group. So this is where you find things like yogurt and all kinds of cheeses, as well as your usual glass of milk. And do you know what else fits in this group? Ice cream. But that reminds me, sweet treats like candy don't fit into any of our groups. That's because they're made of mostly sugar and don't have any of the things that our bodies need to stay healthy. So it's okay to enjoy these foods from time to time, but just not a lot of the time. Now, do you think you can put a food into the right group? Let's take a tasty food quiz and see how well we know our food groups. We'll start with a slice of pineapple. What group do you think it goes in? Squeak says the fruit group. Good job, Squeaks. Yes, pineapple belongs in the fruit group. What about this hard-boiled egg? What group do you think this fits into? That's right, the protein group. Eggs are a good source of protein. Here's one more. We'll end our game with a food that fits into two groups, macaroni and cheese. Let's look at each part separately. The cheese from the mac and cheese fits into the dairy group because it's made from milk. But what about the macaroni noodles? Well, we learned earlier that noodles are made of flour from grain, so that means macaroni belongs to the grain group. That's right. Macaroni and cheese contains foods that are in the dairy group and the grain group. Whew, all this guessing has made me hungry. Hey, Squeaks, let's make a snack. And remember, the next time you're hungry and head to the pantry or fridge, choose something healthy and see if you can guess what group your food fits into. Thanks for joining us on SciShow Kids. Is there something you'd like to learn more about? Get help from a grown-up and let us know in the comments below, or send us an email at kids@the.
Okay, awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed that video as much as I did. And yes, she made me hungry as well. So she discussed and brought up the 5 food groups, and here they are: fruits, grains, dairy, protein, and vegetables. I like how she mentioned the macaroni and cheese. And macaroni and cheese, you have 2 food groups. We saw grains because the noodles from the macaroni, and the cheese would be in the dairy. So a lot of the things that we have at breakfast, lunch, or dinner, there's more than one food group in what we're eating. I'll give you another example, like a chicken salad. If you're having a chicken salad, well, the lettuce goes into the vegetable group. And then if you have toppings like cucumbers, also vegetables. But what if you put some cheese on there and now we have dairy? And what if you make that a nice chicken salad and now you have your protein? And some people even put berries on top of their salad. I love strawberries. And then you got fruit in there. So that's the whole point of eating healthy. You want to have, get a little bit of, or a lot of bit of everything that we need to have at least. And I also like how she mentioned candy, like where does candy and chips and things that are not so great for us, where do they fit in? Well, there is if you look at the food pyramid, we're not looking at a food pyramid today. We're focusing on the food groups this week. But there is, your body does need some fat. It's actually very important. It's a must. But we can get that through other healthy, like there's some fish that have fat in them and avocados, but it's good for you fat. So we want to limit things like candy and things that are not so nutritious. That doesn't mean you can't have it. Of course you can have it. We want to be able to treat ourselves, but it's just something that you don't want to overdo, of course, because we know it's not good for you. Okay, so today, my McCullough Unit students, you have an exit ticket. After you've watched this video, your exit ticket has to do with the 5 food groups. My Becker and Hake students, you have a Google form. You're going to write your first and last name, and I have 5 questions here, and you're going to just multiple choice tell me the answer. So, for example, for the first question, Ms. Hammond has, cereal belongs in what food group? Is it a grain, a fruit, or a protein? Okay, you're going to let me know that, and when you're done, you're going to click submit. That's for my Becker and Hake students. My McCullough students, remember, you are you're clicking on the exit ticket in Schoology. Okay. I also included, I knew there was something else, some fun game sites. After you're done with your exit ticket or your Google form, whatever school you go to, I have some fun game sites. This is an example of some of the things you can do on there. After you're done with your work, it would definitely be fun if you went and checked them out. I even played some games too. They kind of made me laugh. There was one in particular. But so that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed learning about the 5 food groups. I'm actually very excited for this Friday's Kahoot because I know that you guys are going to be so good at it after watching that video. And just the practice, even the games are good practice. Okay, I hope you have a nice week, boys and girls.